Women, true crime, Mama D in the house with you. Welcome to everybody. Welcome to our beautiful new members. Who do we have with us today? We have CB, A Moment in Time. Welcome to our Private Eyes. Start off as a rookie and then you go all the way up to major, right? We've got Vasher Karen. Hello, lovely. Oh, we just got our announcements. Go announce. Oh, okay. We're live. Welcome to our live audience, and if you are a subscriber, you have control of the chat. Welcome everybody. If you are just wanting to watch, even though subscription is absolutely free, doesn't hurt a thing, and it's free, and I encourage you to do so. I love that. But if you just want to watch from home, you're welcome to do so as well. Now in this live, we have one more to go after this, one more live. We do 3 in a row. So the first one's all about the case and the updates and so forth. This one is about a reading that I perform. I am not the best at asking the questions. We give that over to our private eyes on the next live. We let everybody ask questions. Yesterday, we're going to give it to the private eyes today. That will be on the next live. But I might not be great at asking questions, but I am a very good tarot reader. I am not a medium. I am not psychic. I do not talk to the dead. Jesus is my savior, and I only allow Jesus to answer my cards. I am just communing with the divine. That being said, everything is my humble opinion, and everybody's innocent until proven guilty in a court of law by their peers. We're not a court of law here, so we're going to go with this. I also have another member. Let me make sure. I almost missed it. Oh, wait. Let me see if I can go back up here. I've got that one. There was another person. Okay, I did welcome Vasher Karen. Okay, thank you, lovelies. Welcome to our private eyes. And Debbie Gazzardo, 25 months, says, love you, Mama D. Love you, lovely. You know I love you. You're always in my prayers, Debbie. Okay, let's get on to this. I'm going to clear the chat off the board just simply so that it doesn't interfere with the card reading. However, we will be pitting questions in the next live. I want to understand in the Nancy Guthrie case, Annie's actual relationship and any clues or involvement in the disappearance of her mother. So whatever comes out, we just need to see the energies of Annie Guthrie, allegedly, around her mother. We're going to use this true crime deck, see what comes out. Now, it's interesting. In every read we've had, and I mean every read we had on Annie, where it comes out, and we're talking about Annie, we get cipher, which is about the way with words, which is riddles and poems, and Annie is a poet and a jeweler. All right, let's get started. Let me catch chat up here. Make sure I've got it on. How do I do that? Like I lost my mind. There we go. I want to make sure I've got current chat on board, the live chat. What do the cards, what does Spirit want to show me about Annie Guthrie, allegedly? We have our first card. Okay, we have marriage. Well, she is in a wedding, right? She is in a wedding. She is married to Tommaso, who, according to Ashley Banfield, who is still not back down, that the original suspect may be Tommaso, her husband. So that's interesting that Annie would get the marriage card. Let's continue. Hey, Lottie, how are you? Got another one. Strangulation. Show me why strangulation. Somebody choking. Bottom of the deck, caregiver. Trapped. Well, we're going to find out more as we go. Somebody could choke on something. That's weird. Maybe they're in a chokehold. Maybe they feel like they can't breathe. Maybe somebody has a lack of air. Why do we have caregiver? Because Annie would be the caregiver to her mother in many ways. The daughter lives close, less than 10 miles away. Why do we have trapped? And why do we have the dog? A lot of us have wondered why Nancy Guthrie's dog passed away in December when it looked so young. And we did ask, was the dog poisoned or harmed? And it came up favorable. Now, what I do here is I don't really like to say yes or no anymore. Over the years, I've learned that something's more likely favorable or unfavorable. Let's get a qualification with Annie and why the marriage card came up regarding the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, her mother. I don't like that. That is the greed. This is greed. Four of Pentacles is the epitome in the definition of tarot of greed. This person has only 4 coins and they're going to sit on it. Now, if you were rich, you'd have 10 coins. There's 10 coins is the maximum, and we're about midway. We've got 4 coins and we have greed. So why what I asked was, why did the marriage wedding card come up with Annie? And that would be Tommaso, right? Her husband. And we have greed. Just laying it out there. Let me understand this a little better about this greed before we get back into the tarot. We're going to grab the Truth Oracle card. I would like to understand, how does this greed apply with the marriage and wedding? Annie and now Tommaso, being it's the wedding, with the greed card. Why? We have single, isolation, independent, and alone. So they don't live alone. They live together. The only one that lived alone was Nancy. So was that a focus? Bottom of the deck, we have Crown, Owner, Master, Top Level. Well, Nancy would be the queen of the family. She's the oldest. She's the mother. Owner, Master, Top Level. The Crown. That is so wild. I don't know why that's bothering me. Show me why this Crown. I'm picking up jealousy. I'm just gonna intuitively, like I said, I'm not psychic, but my gut thought of jealousy. That's the word that came. The Empress, the mother. So the Crown Mother. What does that mean? The Crown Mother. The Empress is the mother. She's all 4 queens. Queen of Cups, Queen of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, and Queen of Wands. She is also pregnant, not with a baby, not always with a child. She is pregnant with opportunity. So what I'm seeing here, if I were to look at this line of questioning, we're asking about Annie Guthrie. We're getting the marriage wedding card, which would bring me to Tommaso. I ask, why am I getting Tommaso and Annie together? We have greed. We have 4 Pentacles. That could also be seen as holding on too tight to someone or something. Annie is being held somewhere. That's interesting. As we continue, we have that single. We have the Crown. Single Crown Empress. There can only be one queen, right? Single Crown Queen Empress. So is this a power struggle over money? Now let's use this beautiful deck here, the Truth Oracle, and find out about the strangulation. Somebody holding on too tight, not being able to breathe, feeling suffocated. Whoa, we just got this story of our beautiful Nancy, who disappeared in the very night. Independent, free, lead, initiative. Remember, this is Annie Guthrie's reading. Freedom. She could have felt choked back, held back, right? Okay. Independent. Home. Refuge, belong, and haven. Get away, keep away, give up, run away. Intuition, sixth sense, intuition, subconscious. Well, isn't that interesting? Almost feel like I'm looking at that porch. There's something red that comes up with Annie. Annie and the color red, always. Like high heels on porches, red high heels on porches. This red sixth sense, this intuition, the red dress. Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? That kept coming in my head. That's why I made the thumbnail. So we have independent home, intuition, runaway. That's interesting. Let me understand why this whole thing about, it's almost like Annie is showing independent home, intuition, runaway. Is she running away? Ace of Swords. She may have a plan. Look, walking away. She has a plan. She has a backup plan to walk away from this. Ace of Swords is clarity. She may have wanted, Annie may have wanted her own independence without having her mother to tend to. Remember, we have caregiver. We have trapped. Maybe this trapped is how Annie is feeling. Trapped like a dog to be the caregiver to her mother. We have this person. Look, run away, get away, keep away, give up, right? And Eight of Cups, this person obviously is walking away. Back to the screen. You know, they got their back to the camera. Ace of Swords, words. This is clarity spoken. So there is this trapped feeling that Annie felt, according to the cards, with her mother. Trapped. Caregiver. Let me see the Truth Oracle with the caregiver. Why do we have this? And remember, Nancy was getting old enough that she couldn't even walk 50 yards on her own. So she may have been more and more reliant on her daughter. Okay. Let me see Annie's energy around caregiver and Nancy Guthrie and the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. Finances, money problems, work, success, and fortune. It's all about money. Always with Annie and Tommaso. We have the greed, right? What else about Annie and Nancy going missing? Was she involved at all? Show me a clue. Whoa. Boom. We get the goat. Mascot time. Look at that. I'm just making sure I didn't miss anybody. Okay, we have uninvited guests. And look, they're coming right to the house at night where all the lights are on. Surprise, accident, big change, a moment of decision. Why is Annie getting this? Look for, investigate, explore, search. Well, that's interesting. Look for what? All right, we're jumping off that. We're going to jump into the True Crime Oracle deck. I want to know what we're looking for specifically. What is there when it comes to Annie and this uninvited guest, Annie Guthrie, and the disappearance of her mother? What am I supposed to be looking for? What is the clue? It's hidden. Thank you. Okay, that feels like it's about it. We're looking for investigation, exploring, searching for this uninvited guest. Indeed, manhunt, right? The hidden passage. Wrong. The hidden message. Now remember, Annie's a poet. How interesting. Look for the message that are not immediately apparent. Analyze communication for underlining meanings in subtext. Discovering hidden messages can provide valuable insight. Did Annie write the letters? Did Annie write the letters? The observer's insight. Use your observation skills to gain insight into ongoing situations. Watch how others behave, interact to better understand their motives and the dynamic at play. Did Annie write that letter? Those first initial letters, they were so eloquent. Trapped like a dog. Could this be Nancy? Or is Annie feeling trapped because she's the caregiver? I'm sure Nancy had caregivers. I'm just saying, as a daughter, you're going to want to help your mother, right? Or at least your mother's going to expect that, I would think. Oh, Annie got it. Annie, what did you do? Allegedly. Did she write the letter? How interesting, and look the way it's written. I am sorry. What does it say there? Okay, hold on. Somewhere here I got a magnifying glass. Now, this is an old magnifying glass. I can't read it. I don't know if it's meant to be words. It just looks like words. But do you see the extra words? It's almost like something. I can't read it. It says the unspoken apology, eternal regret. I am sorry. And look at it. Even though it's burnt, the edges are burnt. Almost looks like the blood drops that were on the porch. So with trapped, I am sorry. Did Annie have something to do with the trapping of her mother? And there she has it. OMG. Message. Communication records, call record, instant messaging. Remember when they went into Annie's house and came out with that paper bag of items? And I said during that reading, what is that? And it came up, this card. And I said they may have taken some of her writings to compare to those ransoms. Let me see the tarot on this. Did Annie write that letter? Any of the did Annie Guthrie allegedly have anything to do with writing the $6 million the ransom notes? We get 8 of Wands. I'm done because that's messages. We got 3 of Wands, which is also messages. Damn. This is a plan. When you have the 2 of Wands, I've told you guys, if you've watched before for a hot minute, 2 Wands comes before the 3 of Wands. This is 3 of Wands. 2 Wands is a plan with no action, no follow through. This is action taken. This person's chose their wand. They're just waiting on their ship to come in. And it also means message. Wands are all about messages. What do the cards... Just wait. We're going to take and push these up. I want to do some actual tarot reading. I really think we're going to keep Runaway on the top. That seems to be the strongest. We have Caregiver, which is really, really weird. But we also have that Uninvited Guest. I think we'll keep that on the top. Definitely keep Trapped on the top. Those are the cards that I intuitively want to know more on. All right, let's start off with this deck, the Character Oracle deck. I want to understand this wedding for Annie and how that applies, Tommaso and Annie, to missing Nancy Guthrie. And I'm looking for personality, some clue about who might have done this with them. We have the criminal, right? Well, Dominic Evans, allegedly, right, is a criminal. Transgressor of justice, in prison, parole, discipline. But even if it's not him, or Annie and Tommaso, going to prison. So I'm asking, why is Tommaso in there? I've got criminal, diviner, seer of the unseen, foresight, insight, cosmic connection. This is a description of possibly Annie using witchcraft. Yes, I am somebody that reads tarot, but this is a diviner. She might actually have some, she might have read ahead to see if it was going to work. Criminal. That's wild. Let's go to places now. The Places Oracle. Give me some understanding of this whole, what place, even if it's just a landmark, is there a landmark that surrounds Nancy that I feel like, is there a landmark that surrounds Nancy Guthrie? Clue as to where she would be found. We got desert legitimately yesterday, which was not cool, but also it was very fitting. Has anybody thought about going to look for Nancy in the desert? I'm just saying, look, desert. It says beach, but there's no water there. All the water's dried up. And if you dried up the water, what would you have? Sand. Could be in the wash where water originally runs. We have a living room, comfortable space, a family gathering, to the home, comfort, familiarity. So from the bed to the living room to the beach. There's that luxury boutique, and I always think, because Annie's a jeweler, precious metals, she works with specifically precious metals, dazzling gems. Where does she do all this gem stuff? Does she have a shop? Is that near there? Is there a coffee house near there? Let me understand how this uninvited guest is connected to Annie and Tommaso. It was supposed to be just an Annie read. Let's just leave it at Annie. Uninvited guest that showed up. Surprise over there. How's this uninvited guest showing up in Annie's reading when it comes to Nancy Guthrie? Who is this uninvited guest? Ace of Pentacles. She has a connection to the uninvited guest. This is evidence. There could be evidence of this uninvited guest at Nancy's over at Annie's. Because this is the Ace of Pentacles. Pentacles are all tangible. Anything that you can touch in the material world. And in the True Crime Tarot, I see it as evidence. So this is the universe saying there's some evidence of this uninvited guest. Now, show me where. Let's go back to the places. Show me places of where this evidence of this uninvited guest is. Again, why do I get water? Could be the wash. There's really no water around there. We have ship. Queen of Cups, Seer, and Judgment. And the Tower. With a stinky offer. Unclear. We'll keep going. That might come up later. I know there's no waterways over there really. Trapped. Maybe it's the pool. Water. Something being trapped. Could be also some evidence getting trapped. But let me understand this trapped when it comes to Annie Guthrie. Lord. Annie Guthrie. Why the trapped? Why trapped? The moon in the night. Okay, trapped at night. Yes. I'm following. The Star. Attention on Nancy. Star is Aquarius energy. Nancy is an Aquarius. The moon is Cancer energy. Annie is Cancer. Also got Pisces energy. Not sure why. But this Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles is the landowner. The one that sits with the money. The Queen. Attention on Nancy in the night and trapped. Show me more. Page of Cups, a stinky offer. Nobody on the same page and being defensive. And final question. Devil on the bottom of the deck. Just as I was going to ask if Annie had anything to do with Nancy Guthrie's death, I've got attachment. The devil. which is someone in your inner circle. Very toxic. If it's meant to come out, it will. We'll go ahead and put it inside. And does Annie Guthrie allegedly have anything to do with the disappearance of her mother? And thank you. The Chariot, Cancer energy. This is a formidable yes. This is also a vehicle. And they gave Nancy a ride home, allegedly. Continue with the same line of questioning. Could have given Nancy something. This is beggars. Could be asking for something for Nancy, money, so forth. This could be pentacles that are being given to beggars, a payout. Could also be seen as pills, something being tangibly given to Nancy, maybe to slow her down. So we have a car ride, and we have a payout. Could be that they were wanting money, finances. Again, I asked third time, final time of this reading. Show me if, allegedly, Annie Guthrie had anything to do with the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, her mother. The World. That's a closed down cycle. It would be favorable. Definitely favorable. This is a favorable, and this is the World watching. Bottom of the deck. Oh, what is this? What is this? All right, we got a bonus card. We're going to know for sure. A plan. There's a plan. And look at the World card. Look at the World, right? What do we have? The World. Well, I'm going to have to ponder on that. Wow. I'm coming up to topside, you guys. I'm going to clean up my cards, and then we're going to come back together. We're going to hand today over. Now, yesterday, we handed it over to everybody. Today, we're going to hand it over to our PIs. Let me just make sure on that deck that I got every one of the cards out. We're going to hand it over to the PIs. Forgive me, I'm just cleaning up the cards. I don't want to waste any time. And let them ask the questions, because you guys are far better at it than I am. I can read the tarot, but you guys ask the better questions. That's just the truth. It comes from our lovely PIs doing such hard work on the cases and knowing the case so good. All right, let me just check this deck real quick and make sure I didn't leave any out. I did not. We're good to go. I am ready. Are you ready? We'll have about a 5-minute interval. I say 5 minutes and show you 3 fingers. But with that, I want to say thank you so much. Was I showing you the screen? I hope to God I was showing you the screen. I don't know anymore. My hair looks great. Well, thank you, love. I appreciate it. All right, let's go. You're ready. I want to say always, as always, I never take you for granted. I want you to know how special you are to me and to all the cases that we work. You allow me to be the voice for the voiceless. You are the voice for the voiceless. And we're going to hand it over to the PIs. Thank you for the likes, subscribes, and after the video is done and we're on replay, thank you so much to my replay crew for hitting the hype button. Love you guys. To the moon and back, of course. See you soon.
The dust I was born, to the dirt I shall return. When my eyes are closed, in the shadows, my enemies will think they won, but I'm here to stay. Destiny will overcome, no, I am not afraid. Like a phoenix in the night, my soul will rise from the dark.